Hello everyone, welcome to Cabin of Reza. This is Reza and this is our daily sports show. We talk about all kinds of sports here. So let's start with the games to watch and later we go to the games that happened in the last 24 hours and we see what happened in those. First, La Liga, Madrid against Rayo Vallecano, Barca against Celta Vigo. Maybe easy games for them. They just have to win. They can't afford a draw in La Liga, these two teams, because they're each other's competition. Uh, Another insane game today is Liverpool versus Boca Juniors, one of the loudest games, if not the loudest, around the world, and it's an interesting game nonetheless. One of the biggest rivalries in Argentina, and today they are facing each other again. Another game to watch is Liverpool against City. Insane game. Liverpool coming back on a good form. Man City is having one of the Man City has one of the best forms they had in a long time. So yeah, pretty interesting to watch, and it can change the top of the table a little bit and shows who will be the biggest threat for Arsenal, I guess. Bournemouth against Villa again. Both teams got good results. Villa was a little bit bad at the start of the season. Now pretty good, and they will fight for European games, which is very interesting. Brighton against Palace, Leeds against Forest. Leeds against Forest is for the bottom of the table, uh, running away from relegation. Um, Also, we have PSG against Lyon. PSG being in trouble a bit tough wins or draws in League One and a loss in Champions League against Bayern Munich. Maybe they destroy Lyon to show for how strong they are, and they have injuries still. And Lyon, of course, not very good. Still European competition team in League One, but they're not doing super good or safe. Lille against Strasbourg, both playing rather well again. Competition for Europe. Inter against Lazio. Rome also has a game. Bologna against Napoli. Bologna did well this season. Napoli on the top, and with Milan losing points, maybe it's a chance to create some distance for themselves. Another news, Milan is searching for Lewandowski for January. I said a lot of times that Milan needs a striker. Son was an option. Lewandowski seems to be an option. It seems he's interested, but he wants to finish the season with Barca and then decides. But Milan want him in January. Uh, Paolo Vanoli to Fiorentina as the coach. Not much to say. He was the manager of in Russia. I don't remember which team. I think it was Zenit and in Torino. And I don't have much to say or know him very well. Let's see what will happen. Rob Edwards went to Wolves. It's a bigger news. The reason is that he just recently signed a contract with Middlesbrough. He was manager of a few championship teams in different stages. Um, I think it was Derby County. I'm not pretty sure. I don't follow championship very well. Sorry, but nonetheless, he went to Middlesbrough. He changed them pretty good, and they are on the top of the championship. He was doing, at least last time I checked a few weeks ago, and he works pretty good, very good in Middlesbrough, and now it seems he's in Wolves to save them. He was one of the bigger chances to go to Premier League next season. It seems he couldn't wait. He seemed like a good manager, at least to a lot of eyes. I don't know much, but we should see. Let's go to football results. MLS. Messi um, went to the next round. 2 goals, 1 assist. He reached to 400 assists in total in his career. Remarkable. 4-0 winning Nashville, going to the next round in the top 8 teams. Yeah, and so it's a quarter final, and yeah, they go against Cincinnati, and that's all. Cincinnati. Am I saying the name right? I don't know, but you get it. And maybe MLS will be for Messi this year. How much did I wrote today? 4 pages. God. Okay, a lot to cover. Uh, last night I didn't watch this match. Unfortunately, not the highlight, but I will look at it. Chelsea defeated Wolves 3-0, and because the other teams kind of slipped, it was a good chance for Chelsea to gain some points and go forward in the European competition. Everton defeated Fulham 2-0. Uh, Good win for Everton. They were doing a little bit bad recently. They needed a win. Sorry. West Ham defeated Burnley 3-2 in home. It wasn't like the most assured win, but a win is a win. Burnley scored first, they scored 3 goals, and later Burnley scored another. But West Ham also getting themselves a little bit out of trouble. It's interesting to watch. Maybe Nuno can really change them and bring them, not I mean to the top half, but at least out of the relegation. They were quite gone, but it seems they can revive themselves. Um, the other games of Premier League was Arsenal against Sunderland. Arsenal had clean sheet 8 games in a row. Finally conceded 2 goals from Arsenal. So Sunderland, sorry, Sunderland scored first. Arsenal scored twice. Not on the set piece. They were doing pretty good, attacking, pressuring so much to a score. They finally scored 2 goals, and at the end, almost at the end of the end, Sunderland scored the second goal, and had a return to this game. I watched this game on and off. I was pretty much on it the whole time and kind of watched all the goals, but um, the opportunities, maybe I missed a few. But nonetheless, Sunderland and Arsenal both were playing pretty insane. Like the things that I watched, both maybe a draw was a good result. It was 94 minutes the goal for Sunderland, like really last minute. Maybe a draw was good result because Sunderland had situation that the ball was getting saved at the line. The goalkeeper Raya did amazing to save them. Sunderland on the other hand, same. Like Arsenal could make it 3, and it's just uh, and the end too. Like they defended their goal pretty well. It was in Sunderland's home, so a draw. It was one of the most exciting games. I will watch the highlight again, and I think it's worth watching. As I said, I was watching the game, and yeah, Manchester United against Tottenham, the other Premier League game, which I watched again. Arsenal, I also watched. I watched about 80% of it, just to be honest. Manchester United, I watched it full with Tottenham because I'm a United fan. So if you didn't watch it, it's exactly like the Nottingham Forest game, completely repeated. The first half not very good for any of the teams, but United scored first, and Bomo scored again. Um, Second half, United is fading like nothing. They do nothing. They don't create any opportunities. They're gone. They're completely gone, and the pressure on the defense and Lomens was getting too much. Lomens had 2 brilliant saves. The defense also was doing pretty good, but no creation. And the moment that Casemiro is going out, they're gone. They're gone. Like the defense is gone. Everything is gone. Ogate was quite horrible, if I want to be honest. Bruno, same. Like he can't create chances very much, and he also can't defend. Like he just become nothing when Casemiro is not there. And on the second half, he's not doing pretty well. He tries always still to pass the more fancy passes than a straightforward, because there were chances that we scored the second goal with with a pass that Bruno could give, but he decided to be fancy about it. I forgot the name of the player that I wanted to say. Mazraoui, yeah, Mazraoui. He could pass him, but nonetheless, Tottenham scored first, made it 1-1. Then at the last moments, I think it was 92. uh, 91, Richarlison scored the other goal, celebrating like crazy, and then United with a cross, with a corner. And De Ligt scored. And it was funny because I was thinking, oh, De Ligt is there, but Harry Maguire isn't because he was out. He got injured and he got subbed. And I was like, I wish instead of in Maguire was because he could score when De Ligt normally heads these balls a little bit wide, but he scored pretty good. So yeah, return. Not very happy with the draw. We could have won it very easily, but if we were smart about it, Konya didn't play very good. He was pretty bad today, and he noticed it. He was subbed very early. He also noticed it, like he was really sad. Another interesting thing in the game, when the game was 1-1, Sesko came in. He wasn't like from the start of the game. He was pretty awful, if I want to be honest. He's not fast. He doesn't shoot when he should have. Like he's very slow. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be very harsh on him. He's young. He's like new, but he should be faster. He can't find himself, and Rasmus was actually doing better, if I want to be honest. But we should give him time. Nonetheless, he got injured when he couldn't shoot 1v1. He got injured, and he got out. So for the last 10 minutes of the game, because we did all our subs, we had to play 10 men. So we considered and scored one goal in with 10 men. So 2-2. Very crazy game. In Germany, Dortmund against Hamburg. Hamburg not being very well team. Dortmund had a chance to have a win. They scored one goal. Some of the players were like Adeyemi were out. I don't know why. Brandt is out. I don't know why. There are players that are getting good results and they're out. Maybe they're tired. I don't know. Dortmund scored one at the last minute, 97 minutes something. Hamburg scored and equalized, and Dortmund lost points again. Leipzig lost to Hoffenheim 3-1. Also, they lost points, and it was a brilliant opportunity for Dortmund to get in a better position. Sorry, because Bayern Munich also made it draw 2-2. I watched this game too. I said it yesterday. Berlin can be the black cat. They can be the bad luck for Bayern Munich. I was right. I just want to say that I was right. Berlin scored one goal. Pretty good goal. The first goal Berlin scored was like a mistake by Neuer. It wasn't actually a pretty good goal. Neuer should have saved it. They scored. They They created good opportunities. And Bayern wasn't. Maybe they were tired of Paris. They weren't bringing. Sorry. Much opportunities, and after that, Bayern scored. Harry Kane did another mistake in defense. Berlin scored, and Bayern and Harry Kane scored at the end. Luis Diaz scored the other goal, but he also lost a few opportunities. Both teams lost a few opportunities, and total maybe a fair result in Berlin. But yeah, Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Dortmund all lost some points. Mönchengladbach 3-1 against Köln. Mönchengladbach till 2 weeks ago was at the bottom of the table, no wins, and now they have 2 wins in a row in a good form, saving themselves from relegation. Another game was with Leverkusen, scored 6 goals again. Sorry. Heidenheim, they're not very good team, but 6 goals. They were quite brutal till 53rd minutes. They scored 6 goals and then they just stopped. And Maza scored 2 goals. And yeah, crazy game in Bundesliga. Going to La Liga, Girona 1-0 Alvarez. Sevilla 1-0 against Osasuna. Atletico Madrid 3-1 against Levante. Griezmann scored 2 goals. He came on 61 minutes. I didn't watch the highlights yet, if I want to be honest, but he came on the 61 minutes. He scored at 61 minutes, and which is crazy. He had only 30 minutes in the game and scored 2 goals, and he's getting a little bit better on his form. Last season he was quite out. And Villarreal also scored 2 goals against Espanyol, so they stay in the European competition vibe, and they're fighting with Atletico Madrid for the third place. Serie A, 3 nil nil. Quite boring if I want to be honest. Um, if I find the games, Como against uh, Cagliari, yeah. Lecce against Verona, Juventus against Torino, derby of Turin. None of them did much. Quite boring. Juventus still can't score goals. Even with the new manager, it seems nothing changed. Milan against Parma was the only game that had goals and it was 2-2. To be honest, I also watched this game till about 60, 65 minutes, I think, or a bit less. Milan scored 2 goals and Parma scored one, and then I went to sleep if I want to be honest. And Parma scored again, it seems, at 60 something minutes. And Milan couldn't win the game. For 30 minutes, they couldn't score. They have problems scoring goals. And 2-2 again, Milan lost points. It's crazy. And now that we came up to this, it's quite insane for me that I watched 4 games last night, more or less. United against Tottenham, Arsenal against Sunderland, Bayern Munich against Berlin, and Milan against Parma all ended in 2-2. I don't know. It was a lot of goals and it was fun, but why all of them ended in draw 2-2, I don't know. It was funny for me. Though the Milan one I didn't watch till the end, but it was funny. So, Salem Makers. I don't know if I pronounce his name right. Salem Makers. Seems right, yeah. Scored and got a penalty. I know him, but his name is like a hell to pronounce. Going to League One and ending the football part. Lens scored 4 goals against Monaco. Monaco scored one. Said scored 2 goals. Lens are doing pretty good, as I talked about it. Marseille also scored 3 goals against Brest. Gomez, Greenwood, and Aubameyang scored. So the fight in the top teams of Europe, League One, competing for Europe, is going good, except for Monaco, which last few weeks are not doing very well. And Pogba, there is no sign of him yet. So going to NFL, there are some games today to watch. Pirates against Buccaneers, 49ers against Rams, and Packers against Eagles are maybe the most interesting ones to watch. I will try to watch one of them. I probably Pirates against Buccaneers would be my choice. Sorry for the noise. For NHL, I don't cover it much because I can't watch many games, but Avalanche won 9-1 against Oilers, which is crazy. Oilers are not doing very well this season, not as much as people expected. And 9-1 is crazy result. Mavericks won last night in NBA. Sixers won, Heat won, Trailblazers from Portland. It was in Miami, I guess. It was a good game. I didn't watch it, but I heard a friend that was talking about it, and it was a good game for Miami. They're finding their rhythm, it seems. Spurs won, Lakers lost, and Suns won, and Nuggets defeated Pacers. Pacers are not doing well. Moving on, let's see what remained. F1. Let's talk about F1. So for the grid for tonight, there is a game. For me, it's 8:30. Norris is on top. PS3 is at 4, 16 is Verstappen, and 13 is Hamilton, if you're interested to know. In the sprint race, Norris got 8 points, Max got 4, PS3 was out, unfortunately, then DNF. He turned and he had an accident, so DNF. So with this, Norris goes way higher than PS3 and way higher than Max, and increasing his difference. Still 3 Grand Prix to go and 1 main match here in Brazil. Still so 4 technically. And the drivers competition is still going, but Norris seems to have it, and he's in the first grid today. So yeah, very interesting. I will try to watch it, absolutely. I watched a bit last night, and for chess last, and last thing we talk about, Nihal, Gukesh, Anish, Abu Satarov are also out. For if you want to know, there are in FIDE World Cup there are 3 seats, very big seats number, because 8 candidates, 8 players go to candidates. and the winner challenges the world champion, which is Gukesh right now. So Gukesh didn't need it, Anish didn't need it because he's also in candidate. A few players are already chosen. Fabi Anish Bulubaim, if I pronounce his name right, from the Swiss and Tour. There is one player from the Tour who will be chosen. Tour, I mean, Fabi was in 2024. This is from 2025. Hikaru probably will be in it because of the high elo, and there are four remaining. So four is kind of chosen, four is remaining. The four will be from the tour, as I said, one and three here. So big chance the players that remain, maybe you can look for is Prague, Dubov, Vidit, Vincent Kamer, Veyi, Parham, Sam Sevian, Levon, Leko, and Arjun. Maybe look for Leko, of course. He is not as good as maybe he once was, but he was a world challenger. So maybe it will be funny to see him again in candidate. He was in 2006 the challenger of the world champion again. I think, if I'm not wrong. Back then it was two competitions, so I'm a little bit don't remember that. But I think it was about against Kremlik, and that he lost. And yeah, very interesting to watch, and I will follow it. I think a match is starting right now. I will try to keep up and see who's against who and who will get. But Vincent Kamer seems a good person to choose, and Levon, good chance. Yeah, that's about it. I know it was too much. Thanks for keeping up with me, and hopefully I see you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, write a comment, and I hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye.